Happy Friday, y'all. Um, I'm dealing with YouTube comments this morning because this criminal caused so much chaos. Because it's not just that he got incredibly petty with me and was, just doing his bullshit of trying to tear me down. Because this is how he does. He tears down women. He's very much, he's totally on board with all the same stuff that we're complaining about against this network. Like, how Dor has been coming after Anna Kasparian. Eli was doing the same thing, at least private. It was privately to me, but I don't know. He might do this in the comments, their videos too. I'm not sure. I don't know because I'm not on YouTube that much, so I don't know. But privately in my home, he was tearing down the women for the way they dress, or for the like angles that the camera shot angles and stuff. It was just really misogynistic, sexist. So this was actually one of the conversations. I did not include this in the intolerance video that I did, talking about like his intolerance. He was totally on board with the same awful stuff that they were on board with. And so, going through this, because he's now apparently attacking another YouTuber too, who is not involved with this, but the other YouTuber was dropping my name because Eli had dragged me into this podcast. He was kind of coming after me and stuff. So this podcaster on YouTuber, I don't know if I get the terminology right, was mentioning me. He kept mentioning me, so I was replying to him and trying to give him more background and some details so that he's at least has the information. Because I think that Tokyo Shump is actually sincere in what he's trying to accomplish. I think he's sincere in what he's trying to accomplish, but he also doesn't want to get dragged into this bullshit. He doesn't want to get dragged into this. And I don't blame you, Tokyo. Like, you're literally, I'm the dummy who opened my door to a criminal. I'm the dummy who did that. But yeah, this guy, he's projecting a lot of his own faults onto me. He has according to him, I mean, he could have totally made up everything. He could have made up his entire backstory, because maybe, I don't know. Like, it's so bizarre. The entire thing is so bizarre. He could have totally made up everything. But when he did tell me what his real name was and where he was from, I did search him and found that he had a conviction for theft. Basically, we actually ran a background check too. We ran a background check on him, and it looked fairly decent. Like he had that theft charge, but it wasn't. It looks like his story could check out, that he was like framed and stuff. But in the time that he actually lived with me, I realized more and more that he was really full of shit. Like he's just really full of shit. So now I'm kind of wondering if he, I wonder if he's actually working with them, and he's just trying to disrupt the people that they perceive to be like their biggest threats, which I don't even pay attention to this stuff all this much. I don't know why. He did tell me that over and over again, though. They seem to be really threatened by you. And I'm like, why? Like, I'm not. Why? Why are they threatened by me? So anyway, that dude told me that he has absolutely no relations with his family whatsoever. That he doesn't talk to his parents. He doesn't. His wife won't let him see his kids. They actually fled the country and moved to Japan and stuff. So he's in a very bad place family-wise, and so he enjoyed the fact that there are family feuds going on in my family, right? Except that I went to my mom's house on her birthday. I went to a Mother's Day gathering. I still attend things with my family. I still have connections and relations with my family, and this guy has nothing, and he's just so jealous. He's so fucking jealous. He put together the most petty, video ever. That, like, just if that's all you could focus on was like the fact that I have had multiple people living in my house over the years, and I don't know if I have 10-year-old crackers sitting on the top shelf. I don't know if why did you clean out my entire fucking shelves? What were you doing on the third shelf? Looking at stuff that I haven't seen in years. You basically just proved my point. You fucking cleaned me out, dude. You cleaned me out. You're like, oh, she had stuff on that shelf that was 10 years. Are you seriously? This guy was sleeping in an office before he came to stay with me for a month. And I kicked him out after 2 weeks. But he says that he was sleeping in an office before that. And you're seriously going to critique my shelves that you cleaned out? I also did ask him in advance if he was allergic to cats, because I have a long-haired cat and he sheds a lot during the summer. That guy was so fun. He's so creepy. He's so creepy. So I've been trying to respond to some of the comments that Tokyo Shemp left on my channel last night while I was asleep, because I feel bad for that guy. He got dragged into it simply because he was wondering what the hell was going on, and he did some live streams about it and stuff. And so apparently I don't even know. I haven't watched this video. I'm not going to, because it's petty bullshit. It's really mean. It's mean, and it's untruthful, and it's mean. It's really mean. And if you stay with somebody, don't do that to them. Don't do that. I mean, but obviously he was a bad actor. He was a bad actor, because there is no way that you that somebody comes in good faith and then speaks that ill of you and treats you so poorly in your own house. There's no way that somebody with good intentions would do that. That they would treat you so poorly, eat all your food, ask you for money so they can get weed, tell you they're gonna give you money and don't do it, and that was nonsensical. He claims he has he claims he has information about the George Floyd case, and he claims that he has information about the Tulsi Gabbard campaign and the Bernie Sanders campaign. So I actually contacted one of my radio contacts to try and help him out and give him the name of some organizations that actually deal specifically with leaking information, so that he would be protected, because he said he wanted his whistleblower status protected. Rather than call the organizations that we gave to him, he spent his time trying to find out how he could get on the radio. He doesn't care. He doesn't have any information. He wants to become a radio personality because he thinks he has a great voice. He wants to become a radio personality.